when they bring Kyrie Irving in. Tim Legler earlier this morning told me he has a lot of concerns for how that will fit. How do you think it fits?
This is going to be Kevin Durant's chance to lead his team to a world championship. People always question about, even though he was a two-time finals MVP in Golden State, well, that's Stephen Curry's team. Well, this is Kevin Durant's team now in Brooklyn. James Harden will acquiesce to Kevin Durant. The question is, will Kyrie Irving? And Tim Legler also said that, look, the pecking order is KD, James Harden, then Kyrie. So I know that Steve Nash, due to his affiliation with the Golden State Warriors and his time spent with Kevin, is the guy that Kevin Durant stamped as the leader and the coach of this team. I know Mike D'Antoni on the bench has spent time with James Harden and has familiarity with James Harden. He can manage that relationship. The biggest question for the Nets, who will manage Kyrie Irving? And there's no doubt about it, that has to be Kevin Durant. That is his responsibility. If KD can do that and lead with Kyrie Irving, then his team can win a world championship. But if he can't, it can also implode.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many different ways that could go because there's the basketball fit and then there's the relationships of it all. Just outstanding. Again, Jay Williams, KJZ, coast to coast, every single morning on ESPN Radio. All right, Zubin is yelling for you right now, so I got to let you go. I will see you a little later, my man, the great Jay Will with us here on Get Up. We'll continue. Coming up, you can't ask for more. Brady versus Rodgers with the Super Bowl at stake. Which legend has the advantage? Our experts take you inside the game. And speaking of experts, Graziano head-to-head with Hembo is the main event. Who was the last player to catch 20 touchdown passes in a season, including the playoffs?
Everything that transpired in Houston outside of the football field was 100% totally committed to being with the Houston Texans and being their quarterback of the future. Don't tell me about a damn contract, because if somebody put $170 million in your face, you're going to sign the damn papers too. Here's the point. The point is, Deshaun Watson has been wronged by this organization and franchise. There's history of players being wronged by this organization and franchise. And he understands I'm in the prime of my career. I'm watching these young quarterbacks ascend and have success. I want to be a part of a championship culture and a team that can win a championship. I'm doing enough individually to help my team win a championship. The writing is on the wall for Deshaun Watson. I don't think this is salvageable by who you hire. I think this is about the ownership in Houston, not the coach, not Caserio, the GM. Deshaun Watson will get out of Houston.
What do you think, Jeff?
I think Houston would be idiots to let Deshaun Watson. I don't care what you have to do. I don't care if you got to fire the general manager you just hired. I don't care what you got to do. You don't let Deshaun Watson walk out of your building. And whatever you have to do to build. Listen, this is not a guy who makes decisions and gets his emotions all out of control and makes comments. This is a calculated guy, right? This is a very intelligent player who understands what it's going to take to win and get. He's won championships. He understands what it takes. So do whatever is required to keep him in your building. Greeny, the last thing you want to do is let this guy to go to any of the teams we just talked about or any team in general and watch the success that he has. This guy is a difference maker. He changes culture in locker rooms the same way we talk about Brady and Manning. Do not let him out. You can rebuild a relationship. You got 6 months before you even got to worry about it. Get it fixed now.
Well, maybe not quite 6 months. Let's wrap the conversation on that thought, Dan Graziano. Give us an idea of where you would see the deadline for a decision here.
Probably the draft, right? Because if you wait till after the draft, now you're acquiring picks in 2022, and that doesn't really help you in any way if you're the Texans who have a need for a first-round pick this year as a result of other trades they've made. So you could think about free agency and if they have to answer the question there, but I would think if a trade is going to happen, that the draft in April would be the latest that you would want to let it go.
I think that makes sense. They don't have a first-round pick or a second-round pick in this year's draft. We'll leave that there for the moment. Let's get you to the NBA's game of the night last night. The stars were on display. James Harden, his second game with the Nets up against the Greek. We are back on Get Up, and in year one under Kevin Stefanski, the Cleveland Browns made the playoffs for the first time since 2002 and advanced in the playoffs for the first time since 1994. The coach was talking yesterday about the play of his quarterback and Baker Mayfield's future with the organization.
I would tell you Baker continued to get better all season. He did the things we asked him to do. Definitely led this football team from day one till now, but I would still tell you that these things tend to figure themselves out. I think we got a bunch of ball games to look at with him, find out ways that he can get better. But in terms of the franchise quarterback thing, I don't even know necessarily what that means. But I'll let Andrew answer that one. Make sure you save that one for Andrew this week.
Okay, so that's what the coach said. Let's see what the crew says. Marcus Spears, is there any question in your mind that Baker Mayfield is the quarterback of the Browns into the foreseeable future? They should sign him to one of those big deals quarterbacks get and go on with their lives.
I'm not super crazy. That wasn't an endorsement. Okay, you know me. I'm big on the language and how coaches, general managers, and ownership approach conversations about players' contract. Obviously, Stefanski is deferring to Andrew Berry, the GM, because that's the one that ultimately is going to work the deal or whatever. But the fact that your head coach didn't say, yeah, he's our franchise guy, Baker is the future face of the Cleveland Browns, that bothers me, concerns me a little bit. Yes, he's done enough this season to be the franchise guy. First of all, when is the last time a damn Cleveland Browns quarterback even got to the point of a conversation about a second contract? Yep. So that's a win for Baker Mayfield right there, let alone his play. He did some things this year that showed me that not only the maturity at the quarterback spot, but also I'm going to step up and answer the bell when it's about the quarterback outdueling the quarterback across the field for me. That is the thing I saw. That's the most impressive thing I saw. Baker put the Cleveland Browns in games and won games with his arm, off script, when Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and this offensive line wasn't demolishing people. He showed you that he can put you in positions to win as well. And I think that speaks to his franchise. Now, what tier, what money, I don't know, G. I don't see paying $40 million for Baker with all of the things you need around him.
What do you think, Jeff?
Listen, I think the money is irrelevant, and everybody sets the bar, so I don't even care about the money. But Baker Mayfield himself has done enough to earn the respect of the Cleveland Browns and Coach Stefanski. Like, if you look at this quarterback, how many offensive coordinators he had? 4 or 5? I mean, how many head coaches? 4 or 5? This is year 1 with Stefanski. I mean, listen, he has done the maturity he showed from week 1 of this season to the playoff loss. I mean, it's unbelievable. This guy has made continuous strides. He continues to answer the bell each and every week. Is he a perfect quarterback? Absolutely not. But is he a perfect quarterback in this system? Yes, because you can have Chubb and Hunt and a very good offensive line, and he can find receivers downfield. They need some other pieces and parts around him, including on the defensive side of the football, to help them win more games. But absolutely, Baker Mayfield has done enough to earn himself a place in Cleveland.
Yeah, most improved player is not an award they give on the night before the Super Bowl. If they did, and I had a vote, I would give it to him. I think he was the most improved player in the sport this season, including Josh Allen and anybody. Dan Graziano, let's...